This video is to introduce you to Harry, our 1965 VW split screen camper van. As you can see, Harry's super cool. One of the downsides to being super cool is he does sit quite low. So the first thing I want to show you is just taking a little bit of care, particularly if you're reversing. The tailpipe sits very, very close to the ground. Similarly, at the front end, the steering box is about the same height from the ground, so take a bit of care when you're going along anything with a rut. So, for example, a campsite with a rock in the middle of a track or something like that, just try and drive on the high bits. The next thing to show you is keys, and the insurers require me to say that if these are left in the van unattended, Harry's not insured, so always make sure you know where they are. We've got 3 keys. The little funny shaped one is just the ignition key. The VW key is the door key, but he has had a new lock on his side doors, the ones we call the cargo doors. So the key that's the same shape as the VW key, but just like that, is only that door. I'll show you how they work. With the cab doors, there's a right and a wrong way around to put it in, so 50-50, you'll get it right. Just up to unlock it, down to lock it, and check. You can't lock the van from inside, so you have to go around with the keys on the outside. No central locking. With the one for the cargo door, it goes 180 degrees, and that's locked. Turn it that way, and it's unlocked. Press the handle down, and it goes part way, but it's still shut. It's pulled little bolts out of the top and bottom of the doors and go all the rest of the way, and that will take it out. So it just goes onto a spring catch there, and always make sure you put the handle level before you drive off anywhere. You have to put it level before you can lock it. We've got one more key on Harry, and that's not on the bunch of keys here. It's hiding behind the driver's seat. Fold the seat forward, and behind here we'll find what we call a church key. You don't want that in your pocket. This goes to open the fuel filler cap. Put the little cover down, and it just turns a quarter turn, and then you can open that, and then it's simply unscrew the cap. When you're filling up the petrol, you'll find, because there's a kink in the pipe just where it goes in, you'll find it'll click off right away. So lift it out about halfway and keep filling till you either see it in the pipe or it clicks off lots of times, and that way you'll know it's full. Pop that back on there. Normal unleaded petrol. Just a quarter turn, put the cover back on. Make sure you haven't left this at the petrol station, and pop it away behind the seat. While we're here, also there you'll find there's a map book, there's first aid kit, vital umbrella, and there's a camping club pack here as well. In all the vans there's a membership pack for the camping and caravanning club. If you're going to be on one of their campsites, the vans are members of what we call the privilege scheme, and the privilege scheme gives you, as the hirer, member rates for the camping. You can't book it online, you have to actually phone them to be able to tell them that you're a member of the privilege scheme or the camper van you're hiring is, and that way you'll save quite a bit off their campsites. Around the back, it's the VW key to unlock the tailgate. Just press the button. In the back we've got a picnic blanket covering up the bed cushion here. This makes up into part of the bed, which will show you inside. I've put this on just to protect the bed cushion so you can pile bags in and so on. And you'll also find the tabletop here. I'll show you inside how that fits as well. When you come to close the tailgate, it's a firm hand and check under the edge there. If you press the button again, it's just going to pop open. Underneath there, we've got the engine bay. Now there's not going to be any need for you to go in the engine bay if you're just on a short hire. If you're on a longer hire, we'll probably show you how to check the oil and things like that. But if you get curious and you think, oh, I'm just going to have a look in there, there's 2 ways that engine bay door can hurt you. First of all, it's on a gas strut, straining away, and the moment you pop the catch, it will come up. The second thing is that While that's getting you in the chin, if you've left your fingers there, you'll know about it. So keep your fingers out of the way, keep a hand on that while you're letting it come up. We don't lock the engine bays, there's no key for that there. Round to the side. Handle down part way, all the way down. There's no struts to hold these doors open so they can just blow around in the wind. While we're showing you around the van, we use a crude but effective bungee cord. Just pop that round the handle on the inside and gently pop it underneath the wheel arch there. It's going to stop it from just falling on us, but it won't stand a strong wind, so be aware of that. The door on the other side doesn't have a handle on there, just one on the inside. Pop that down, you can open it up there. If it isn't doors open weather and you're going to be cooking on gas, you want to make sure that you've got the window open. So on this, you can push that open there, and also we're going to want to make sure that we've got the curtains well out of the way before we even think about the cook. When you're shutting the doors, just keep a firm hand against it, and as you pull the handle up, the little bolts in the top and bottom of the doors will go in nice and easily. If you're not pushing against it, they can miss, and it all feels wrong. Very cosy in Harry, it's a good place to be. We've got the door shut at the moment just because we're on a bit of a slope. You can open up the cooker, and when you lift the back up, it'll hold the sides up, giving you splashbacks and so on. It's a standard camping gas cooker. We've got 2 burners, and the middle knob there is for the grill. We've got the breadboard sitting in there at the moment to try and stop the base for that rattling while you're driving. Something will probably still rattle, like the little burner rings. So if you find that's annoying you while you're out, you can pull the grid off, take the little rings out, put them away, and you'll have fewer shakes and rattles. Fish out, there's a gas lighter here. It just sparks rather than shooting flames. And you'll also find some emergency tea bags there. If I lift up the front here and lift out the cool box, come back to that in a moment. I'll move the bin, and you can see we've got the gas down here. Now on top of that we've got a regulator, and the gas is shut off for safety while you're travelling, so we need to open that up. Just unscrew it all the way anti-clockwise. Now the gas is onto the cooker. So turn it to big flame, and it'll go down to little flame to simmer, back up past full blast, and back to the top for off. Let it all cool down, and then you can fold up the cooker. Don't forget to turn the gas back off again at the gas bottle. So I'm just reaching to the little black knob, turn that in clockwise as far as it will go, and then we can put the bin back in place. And before we put the cool box back in place, we mentioned it will run off the mains or the 12 volt, so I'm just going to show you how to connect the hookup, and then your main sockets will be live. If we reach under the van, there's a blue connector, lift up the cap on it, and just by feel push that on, and then we're connected up to the mains so we can run things like the cool box, the TV, the DVD player, the fan heater. As soon as you've connected up there, it's really important in the cab, always round there, and hiding in the door pocket. Got a little reminder, hookup connected. As soon as you've connected up, stick that on the steering wheel, and that way you're not going to forget and drive off with an orange tail behind you and feel like a right wally. It is surprisingly easy to forget that that's connected up, particularly as it's on the passenger side and we're on the driver's side. So without fail, always stick that on whenever you're connected to the mains. So now that we're connected up to the mains, we can take the normal 240 volt lead, plug it in down there, switch it on, and you can hear the cool box is running. We'll send the cool box out with 2 ice packs frozen in it to get you started and help with the temperature. And those ice packs are great as well. If you're on a campsite, you'll find that most of them have a freezer at the reception, and you can pop the ice packs for the cool box in there overnight. Remember, pick them up in the morning and pop them straight back in, and it gives you a head start. The cool boxes are a cool box rather than a fridge in that they'll just run, they don't cut off on a thermostat. So just run them to get the temperature down, don't leave them running all the time. Like I say, you can soon flatten your leisure battery if you're running off the battery rather than the mains. Quite noisy as well, so I'm going to turn that off now. So we've done cooking on gas and chilling. Underneath the seat next to the cooker, if we just lift the cushions out of the way and lift that up, there's a little bolt there to hold it, and you can see under here lots of clutter. We've got a spare gas cylinder, pots and pans, washing up bowls, washing up kit, washing liquid. Under here you'll find utensils and cutlery in the folder there, cleaning kit, and there's a couple of 5 litre plastic water bottles which will have Keswick tap water in it, it's not mineral water. And finally at the back there you find there's a TV with a built-in DVD player. You can plug that into the main sockets if you're on a hookup, stick it on top of the cooker unit, or you can plug it into the 12 volt as well, it will run off that. Underneath the other seat, if we lift this up, fine. This is the bag with Harry's hookup cable in, and there's the fan heater there, and finally we've got a set of screens for the windows. Just pull one of those out, put my prop in place. These screens are labelled up, tailgate, top. They've got suckers on the back, and they're designed to go on the inside of the windows at night. You just wet the suckers there and stick them on the windows. They act as a great extra level of insulation and also a blackout. If it's hot and sunny weather and you're leaving the van parked up for the day, they act as a great thing to keep the van cool during the day as well by reflecting the sun off. During the night you'll probably find one or two of the suckers have come off the windows, but when you come to take them off in the morning, instead of pulling on these tabs which tend to break, just flick a fingernail underneath the suckers to break the suction and they'll fall off. You'll have a little bit of condensation on the back of them probably, so just leave them lying out for a few minutes to let them dry out, or if you're on a damp day we tend to leave them spread out on top of the bed stuff in the back of the van for the morning, and then they're nice and dry. When you're putting things back under this seat there is a bit more space there, but be particularly careful that these brackets which the bed makes up with, they have to go down into the space under the seat. So make sure you've left a gap at each side where they go in. If you've got the fan heater under there, you could get a nasty sounding expensive crunch. Under here as well you'll find we've got the leisure battery. This powers your 12 volt sockets and the lights in the van, and that's got a charger here which is plugged into the mains, and that means that if you're on a hookup, you can see we've got the battery showing red there, it means the battery is charging. It will go to green when it's fully charged. If it isn't showing the little car symbol and the battery charging symbol, you might just need to press that mode button if it's got accidentally pressed until it goes round to select those things there. So that's the stuff under the back seat. The back seat itself makes up into the bed, and it's very, very simple to do. Take the cushions out of the way. We'll lose the seat belts, lift up the backrest cushion. You can just drop this down the back. There's 3 lap belts across the back seat. You can carry it. There's another seat belt on the backward facing seat. Behind there's a little strap. Just pull that out and check that you've got your cushion in the boot space pushed all the way to the tailgate. Get hold of the front edge and lift it up a bit and just pull. And that goes down and makes a great big bed up. Really, really easy to do and super comfy. There isn't a lot of room to stand in the van, so you have to get organised, and also you find if you want things out from underneath the seat, it's best to get them out before you rock and roll the bed, and it's hard to reach otherwise. Then you'll have a bit of space for all your bags that were in the boot. You can put them away underneath the bed space there, or use the cab as extra storage. If you remember to pull that little strap out, it helps to lift the back edge, lift the front of the seat, and it goes back in with a bang. So it couldn't be easier. What we tend to do is just fold our duvets and stuff to the back in the morning, rock and roll the bed, and then you can get the kettle on. In the boot I mentioned the table. just squeezes to bring it down like that. And there's a slot on the side. Just pop that in. It won't stand cutting a steak on it, but it'll do for a bowl of cereal or a salad. Next to there you'll find there's another 12-volt socket. You can use those for your phone chargers, the TV and so on, things that are fairly light. And talking of lights, in Harry we've two sorts of lights. First of all, up in the roof we've got the original lights that were built as part of the van. Now those run off the car battery because they were part of the van build, so just use them sparingly, but at least they come on straight away. Instead, around the sides here you'll find we've got Harry's mood lighting, and these are little LEDs and they run off the leisure battery, so they're the ones to use in an evening. The switch for them is hiding behind the curtain here, little green switch. Put that on and the lights will come on. The lights start off a bit dim, a bit like a long life light bulb, and they warm up over the first minute, and then they'll provide enough lighting for in the van. In the door pocket on the front of the door we've got Harry's handbook. In here you'll find everything that I've been showing you, so from which key does what, through to how to make the bed up, how to put it up, how to turn the gas on, window stickers and so on. There's our phone number at the end just in case you get stuck with anything. So we know where the kettle is, underneath the back seat. We know how to put the gas on to put the kettle on, and we know how to have a lie down, and that's all there is to it really. Very, very easy and simple to camp in Harry. When we're ready to go in Harry, we want to make sure that the windows are shut and then your curtains aren't going everywhere. Pop the catch around like that. When you're shutting the door, so just keep a bit of pressure inward and lift the handle up, and that will shut there. The one on this side I didn't mention before, but when you've shut the door inside at night, handle up, and then that lock there will turn 90 degrees to lock the door from the inside. So that is one lock that you can lock from the inside. And before we drive anywhere, we need to make sure that we disconnect the hookup. You can do it by feel once you've got used to it. You're just pushing the caps apart. Straight pull. And then Harry's cable will go in the blue bag and underneath the back seats there. And I always do a final walk right around the van to make sure we've not left the wellies under the van or anything like that. And ready to go. And that's how to be a pro and camp in Harry.